Welcome to Forecast, Save and Improve Lives. The goal is to personalize healthcare in early life. My name is Thorsten Waloschek. I'm the CEO of NeoPrediX. I've dedicated the last 20 years of my life to bring new products to market to help babies to have the best possible start into life, because I firmly believe babies are our future. What I've learned during this journey is that every patient, every baby is different, but now they're predictable. The challenge is that more than 2.4 million babies die every year right after birth. And many more will suffer from disease and long-term consequences if challenges and risks are not identified early on. The first 1,000 days of life determine the future. I would like to introduce to you the first predictive clinical decision support software that allows maternal, neonatal, and perinatal risks to identify it early on. We can forecast the dynamic progression of diseases. With that, we want to help 140 million babies every year and more than 220 pregnant women, year by year. Our goal is to reduce mortality, morbidity, avoid long-term consequences, while also control healthcare costs. We are addressing the big 5 challenges around birth, from neonatal jaundice to preeclampsia, sudden infant death, food allergy, and sepsis. Well, we are focusing on babies, but this is not a small market. We are addressing a total market opportunity of more than $25 billion a year. Let's start with jaundice. About 60% of all newborns, no matter where, here in the UK, but in every country around the world, are at risk of developing hyperbilirubinemia, better known as newborn jaundice. If not treated and detected, newborn jaundice can end up in kernicterus, which is a permanent brain damage and devastating to families and patients alike. But only 5% of those at risk will eventually need treatment. So how to differentiate between those that just need some more time, those that need treatment, and those that can actually be discharged early on? We can help to identify exactly those patients that need to stay in the hospital to receive treatment. Much more importantly, please help us to reduce the total number of kernicterus cases to 0, because there's really no reason today in the world that anybody should suffer from this. Our algorithm can also be applied to maternal health. Preeclampsia, the numbers are staggering. More than 500,000 babies die each year of complications due to preeclampsia, and even 70,000 women die of it. 2% of all pregnancies are affected. We are on track to develop an algorithm that helps to identify the risk of preeclampsia, and with that we can save mother and child. The ultimate nightmare to all of us parents, sudden infant death. Sudden infant death is not that sudden, but 15,000 babies die each year because of it. We can identify the underlying cardiovascular risk and identify those babies that should be put on vital signs 24/7 monitoring, and with that, sudden infant death can be avoided. Food allergy. Globally, 11 million children will develop every year food allergy, most of the time by the age when they hit kindergarten or preschool, first grade. Here in the United Kingdom, more than 40,000 children are affected every year. Again, if food allergy, the risk of food allergy, can be identified right after birth, the development of that allergy can be avoided. Now think about if our children and grandchildren can again eat whatever they want. Last but not least, sepsis. In the United States alone, there's 400,000 premature babies being born every year. About 75% of them, 300,000, are treated prophylactically with antibiotics in order to avoid early onset of sepsis. While this is a good thing, the major side effect is hearing loss. Every year in the United States alone, 15,000 babies are hearing impaired because of overdosaging of antibiotics. Again, NeoPrediX algorithms can help to identify those babies that do not need high dosages of antibiotics, and with that, also here in Europe, hearing loss can be avoided. So I think you identify the summary The idea is to identify those patients today who will be critical tomorrow to optimize and personalize healthcare in early life. So how do we do this? We just need a handful of data points. Our sensitivity and specificity is more than 95%. And in this example, this is newborn jaundice. We need 3 bilirubin measurements. And the beauty is the simplicity. We only need data points that are recorded with every baby anyways. So we don't need extra blood draws or anything. Based on these data points, we can forecast the dynamic progression of bilirubin over the next 48 hours. This is like telling the lottery numbers of tomorrow night. You just need to pick the right number and you win. Our proprietary technology is patent protected, and we have an accuracy under the curve of more than 90%. The company is already ISO 13485 certified. We are headquartered in Switzerland with subsidiaries in Germany and the United States. Our first algorithm is already FDA Class 2 510K exempt registered, and the first app, Jaundice Prediction, is commercially available in the United States. Our CE certification we expect by the end of the year. We just concluded a multi-center trial in Germany, which has been published in the Nature magazine. It's one platform for many apps. Our pipeline, as I mentioned, is huge, and over the next 5 years, we want to introduce 1 application per year. It is software as a service, including EMR integration, and we are selling annual licenses at $40 per baby. The idea is to manage data to really make sense and help clinicians to identify patients at risk. We are calling on children's hospitals and insurance companies. We have 35 people on the ground, non-exclusively working on commission in the United States to call on hospitals. As everybody says, we have a great team. Of course, we're a great team, but this is also a fun team with entrepreneurial and scientific background. We have an advisory board that gives us clinical insight, and we have a supervisory board that has decades of industry experience. Our goal is to hit break-even in 2025. I'm here to raise $12 million in this slide, euros, Swiss francs, British pounds, pretty much all the same. We have a commitment of almost 6 million, and we want to use that money to really drive our go-to-market strategy and, more importantly, to develop our exciting pipeline. We are working hand in hand with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, number 3, good health and well-being, and the target by 2030 is to reduce preventable death, morbidity, and mortality in newborns. So I would like to invite you to join us on this exciting journey and help us to identify those patients today who will be critical tomorrow. Thank you very much for your attention.